for questions.
Yeah, let me get the time. Okay.
And we'll start with Mike Singer. Mike, go ahead.
Hey, Mike, good to see you. You guys had a fair amount of turnover this offseason. Obviously lost a couple significant wings in Jeremy and Torrey. What do you envision your role being this season? I guess we're 2 weeks away from opening tip.
I mean, obviously, I'm gonna have to take a jump in my role. You know, coach has been vocal about that, and it was for me in the offseason just to put in the work and be ready for it. We lost a lot of wing players, like you said, and so I'm just ready for whatever coach tries to tell me to do, and I'm gonna be ready. And hopefully that means a bigger role, you know. But whatever he tells me to do, I'm gonna do it.
Next question, we'll go to Katie Wingy. Katie, go ahead.
Hey, MJ. My question is, I know defense is an area that you've been talking about working on and getting better at. And right now, how are you doing that given you can't work out in big groups? You can't really simulate game-like situations. So how have you been improving your defensive side of the basketball?
I mean, a lot of it is film, seeing, you know, the mental part of it. And then another part in the offseason was just with my strength coach, you know, working on mobility, agility, and then on the court with my on-the-court trainer back home, just, you know, he would put me in situations, he would bring in certain people, have me guard them. But it's definitely been a vocal point of what I've been working on. So I want to take a jump in that area as well this year.
Next question, we'll go to Kendra Andrews. Kendra, go ahead.
Hey, Mike, good to see you. You mentioned, you know, being ready to take on whatever role coach decides to give you. If he says, hey, we need you to be the second, third highest scorer, be the third star along Nikola and Jamal, do you feel like you're ready to do that just heading into your second year?
Yeah, I do.
All right, next we'll go to Chris Marlowe. Chris, go ahead.
Hey, Mike. A lot of the time during the bubble, you got a chance to start, but you also came off the bench a lot during the season. Would your preference be to start? Do you want to be a starter? Can you contribute off the bench? Where's your head at regards to starting or not starting?
Like I said, it's you know, we got a different look on this team this year, and it's whatever coach, whatever position he puts me in. But I think for me, I would love to start. I would love to start off the games and you know, produce right from the get-go. So that's my goal. Obviously, nothing is just given to you. You got to earn it. But yes, I would love to be a starter.
Next, we'll go to Todd Romero. Todd, go ahead.
Hey, Michael, how you doing?
What's going on, man?
Question for you. So, you know, a lot of the veterans have had, you know, a long time off between seasons. The fact that this is a shorter time off and you had the ability to really get in there and see your level jump, is it an advantage for you to come back so quickly so you can build upon that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's just basketball. So even for me, like, it is a quick turnaround, obviously, but like I've been working out this whole time, just trying to prepare myself. It doesn't take me months to get mentally ready to get back into it. So I'm ready and I'm excited. I'm kind of glad that it was a quick turnaround. But yeah, after the bubble, man, I took probably a week off, about a week, and then I was right back into it since then. So I feel pretty good. I feel in shape.
Next question, we'll go to Jacob Toby. Jacob, go ahead.
Yeah, Mike, you know, you played super well in the games leading up to the bubble. You know, you started, and then when the playoffs started, coach made a lineup change. So I just, you know, what's the biggest thing you learned so far in your first year, just with how the NBA works and how coach makes decisions and how well you have to keep on playing to stay, you know, in that lineup?
I mean, we had a deep team last year, and I think we were down 3-1 to Utah when he decided to change the starting lineup. So it was nothing I took personal. I mean, we were down 3-1, and we needed to try something different. So if that involved taking me out of the starting lineup, I was okay with it. And we came back from that series. So there's no like weird feelings. Like I just wanted to do whatever I could to help the team win. But going into this next season, you know, I kind of saw everything last year. You know, we played LeBron in the playoffs. I played against Kawhi, Paul George, you know, all the best players in my position. So I feel like I have some experience now going into this season that I didn't have. Last year was my first year playing, and I went from DNPs to starting on the Western Conference Finals team in the playoffs. So I learned a lot in that 1 year, and I'm just looking to carry that over to this year. And I want to make a really big jump. I've been working really hard in all the areas that I saw I need to get better at during the playoffs. So I'm excited, and I feel like I'm ready.
Next, we'll go to Ryan Blackburn. Ryan, go ahead.
Hey, Mike. So the biggest stars in the NBA on the wing are the guys that can do it both ways, or the guys that go against each other. They guard each other every single night. It's not just going to be offensive. It's going to be defensive too. Do you feel like you're ready for that burden every single night without Jeremy, without Torrey there? Is that something that you are ready to handle by yourself?
Yes, I mean, I believe so. It's something that I'm taking head on, and it's something that I want to do. I want to be one of the best players, and I want to guard the best players, and I want the best players on the other team to guard me. So it's a challenge that I want to take on, and I'm looking forward to it. So, yes, sir.
Next, we'll go to Alex Labido. Alex, go ahead.
Hey, Michael, you were a rookie once. I was just curious if you've had a chance to reach out to the new rookies on the team and sort of give them some advice about how to adjust to the setup that you guys currently have.
Yeah, no, it's strange because we got some rookies in, really talented guys, but they're not getting to do the summer league and kind of like slowly be introduced to how the NBA works. So I'm just trying to come alongside those guys, kind of teach them what I, know from my short time in the league. I mean, I have been in the league. This is my 3rd year. So I just have been just trying to take those guys under my wing and just, I'm a young dude too. So just help them. It's a quick turnaround for them, being drafted, and now we play in like a week. So just do whatever I can to help them.
Next question will go to Katie Wingy. Katie, go ahead.
Mike, you talked about how you've been focusing in on a couple specific areas that you wanted to improve upon. I'm curious, I know this is a shorter off season, but do you feel like you've taken any big jumps or any big strides in specific areas of your game so far?
Yeah, I feel like I got better in all facets of my game over the off season. I was really focused and really consistent with my work on the court, my work in the weight room. And I feel like I'll be better this year in almost every area than I was last year. So that's the goal for every player every year. And it's just about putting the work in, and I think I did that. So I'm ready for it to show.
Mike Singer next. Go ahead.
Hey, Mike, you mentioned how hard you've worked this offseason. Who were you working out with? Where were you? I think you were back in Columbia for a little bit, but were you working out with other NBA guys, your brother? What was kind of that setup?
Yeah, for me, for most of the offseason, I was back home in Columbia, Missouri. It's nothing to do back home except get better. There's literally nothing in Columbia. So I got back there. There was no distractions, and I was just in the gym every day, morning and night, and then got my working in the weight room. I went out to LA for about a week, and I worked out in the same gym with like Jason Tatum and Brad Beal. So that was cool. Been in the same gym with those guys. Other than that, I was pretty much by myself. When my brother would come back into town, we play pickup. He's looking great. So he's excited to get started in Memphis. But other than that, I was pretty much by myself, just grinding. I'm getting it in with and then my brothers. My brothers are getting older too. So like, even though they're in high school, we can go to the gym and they can challenge me in different areas. My brother, who's a junior, just had his first game and had 44 points and 20 rebounds. So he's looking good. So we can have competitive games now. We play 2-on-2 with each other and everything like that. So that's pretty much all I did.
All right, we have time for a few more here. We'll go to Harrison Wynn next. Harrison, go ahead.
Hey, Mike, you played a little bit with Jamal and Nikola just on the floor at the same time last year, but not nearly as much as you'll play with those guys this year. In your opinion, just what's the potential of you three on the court at the same time if you guys can just really mesh and really build a solid chemistry?
Yeah, I think in the playoffs, it was something that was we were rushed into, for a while when I was really rolling, Jamal wasn't on the floor. So I was getting more touches. Then when he came back, we kind of weren't really used to playing with each other. So coach thought it'd be better, me coming off the bench, but we've always known that was going to be something that we had to get used to, all three of us playing together. So I'm excited for that this year. Getting a feel to how to play with those guys, where I'm going to get my shots, where I can help those guys out and where I can play off of them. So we knew that this time was coming where we were going to all three have to learn how to play on the floor. And we think if we can develop that chemistry, that it'll be a special thing. So that's what we're looking forward to.
Time for one more question. We'll end with Chris Marlowe. Chris, go ahead.
Hey, Mike, I wanted to ask you a question about your position. Obviously, it seems like your natural position is small forward, but you've also seen time at shooting guard and power forward. Can you play those positions effectively? And of those two, shooting guard, power forward, which do you think you'd be more efficient at?
Honestly, man, a lot of the stuff I was working on during the offseason was involving all those different positions, setting screens, and then popping like a forward would do. Jeremy got a lot of threes that way. Paul gets a lot of shots that way. And then also being, coming off the ball screen as the ball handler. So that was different things I tried to work on. I already feel comfortable spotting up and shooting like a shooting guard. But I definitely would love to utilize my size at the four more and set screens and, pop for open jumpers and things like that. So I kind of was working on those different things throughout the offseason because with the different look of our team, I'll probably be put in different positions. So I got to be ready to play in those different spots.
All right, Michael, that will do it for today. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.